it's my first event here in the United States with USBD. Wow, honestly, thank you, Rob, and thank you guys. That's a big responsibility for me, something about competition, because my last competition is 2016. Yeah, almost 14 years representing Venezuela, Ireland. That's so funny because I was living in Dublin in Ireland. Now I'm organizing a different competition. Have my own platform for education. The name is Real Cocktail Challenge. For the next year, have a 20 competition. That's a lot in 10 different countries. Okay, so now I'm going to start explaining everything rules. This is Master Fransisco. Yeah, I don't know how many competitions you have in your life. Yeah,
I don't know too.
But the last month in Panama,
Yeah.
have a competition too.
He beat me.
Yeah. Guys, please. I want to close this conference, but you have everything for this moment, okay? And I'm sorry for my English. Promise for the next year, I'm preparing everything in English, okay? Now it's so funny because I'm here in the United States to explain everything in Spanish. I will support the people, the Latin community in Spanish, in especially with my principal sponsor is a finance card, Unreal Osmo for 14 years. Yeah, I'm preparing everything in Spanish, but honestly, my own challenge is explain everything in English for you guys. Okay? Así. Que papi con ustedes.
Hey!
Well, thank you so much, guys. Well, first of all, if you can tell by the picture, we have Mr. Fransisco Javier Lopez from the Association of Puerto Rico. Please.
Hey!
Sorry, competitor, but also judge. So sometimes he judges some competitions, and sometimes he actually participates in the same one. I believe you were judging me in one this year.
Yeah, right.
And then you were competing against me in one. How did it go? Then of course we have Mr. Jhonnatan Mejias. He used to be a competitor for the IBA too. He's from Venezuela, and I believe you're also sponsored by Real.
Yes.
And are you also sponsored by Real?
Yeah.
So, well, this is not here. I'm the only one that's sponsored by Real. Just saying. And then, of course, the one with no Photoshop on his picture is me. And for the ones that were not here yesterday, I come from the world capital of the cocktail, Utah. That was a joke. Utah, Latin. And also, we are right now going live on the Instagram feed of one of our sponsors. So if you guys have somebody that you think might benefit from this presentation, you feel free to share the Instagram of our attending. It's currently go live over here.
Yeah, sponsors.
And more importantly, they actually have some gifts for you to do. So what are we here to do? We are here to talk about a very, very specific type of competitions, which is the IBA competitions. The IBA is the International Bartending Association. They held competitions around the world, and the most famous one would be every year there's a continental competition where all the countries from the Pan-American region will compete against each other, same in Europe, same in Asia, and then all of those people that did good in their own countries eventually meet in a World Cup. Last year was in Italy, this year is going to be in Portugal. Mariana is going to be there representing our flair team of the USA in the World Cup in Portugal. Jean Manuel was here in Panama a month ago, right?
Yep.
We had a lot of people from the Team USA. Now, the IBA competition is very special. You know, it's lovely as any other competitions like the one that we're just having here. You know, there's a lot of camaraderie involved. You know, you meet a lot of people. It's a big family, but it has a set of very, very strict rules, and they could be sometimes a little scary. Like you really get PDF and pages of rules. So you can't really approach it like just any other competition, because some things that might be amazing in some competitions might actually make you lose on an IBA competition. So with our experience on trying to, by failing and trying again and discovering what makes us win a competition, we decided to like come here and just give it to all of you for free. Well, you're really gonna tell us all of our secrets on how we actually get to win one of these competitions, you know, and how you can do it. We don't have to do like all of the effort that we already do, but that way you can concentrate your own effort in actually doing it. So that's kind of like what we're gonna be breaking down little by little today. Now, has any of you ever seen an IBA competition? Anybody? Okay, got some people. Rob actually competed. He got the prize for the best cocktail for third category last year in Panama, and the best showmanship in Dominican Republic, right?
Yeah.
The year before and best cocktail the year before.
Amazing. So I'm here talking a lot of words, saying a lot of fancy stuff, and you might be thinking, who is this guy who thinks that he can tell me everything about the IBA competitions? I've been around, did some stuff. It's my first day. I'm actually a former USA IBA champion. I had the pleasure to go compete for the Team USA in Italy in the World Cup last year. I finished 5th. I moved on. I'm sorry. Sorry to disappoint you. I've been a 4-time national finalist. Actually, since I started doing IBA for USA, I've been on every single national final. Now, one of you might think, well, this guy has lots more finals than the one that he won. Yes. I've been in the Team USA for a couple of years. Which took me to the Dominican Republic in 2023, which took me to Italy last year, and we also took me to Panama, where Javier did my best. You finished second, right? Yeah, I got third. The third category? Amazing. And then I was lucky to receive the award for the best cocktail in the whole competition last year. I mean, for the best technique in the whole competition in Panama. But if one thing we have learned from these days is that you always have to sell yourself. So I sell myself as a Pan-American champion of classic. That's not for classic. But it's right? So
0 deductions too, right?
0 deductions,
Not like you
yeah.
did the best, but you had 0 deductions.
perfect technique, yeah.
And your judge is Steven. Steven is the more
Yes!
killer,
The hard ass.
judge on the IBA.
So because all of you guys have focus, and I really, like if anybody's interested, I really love this stuff, and we can go through like all the IBA techniques, but this will literally take like hours and hours. So what we're gonna do is like, I just want you guys to grab your phone, and then to aim at this QR code that's coming any minute. If you just wanna go and scan the QR code on my left side, and that's gonna take you to a video by Mr. Tony Afghani, who used to be one of the action participants. So you want to just go to that, and it's going to take you to a YouTube video, and I just want you guys to watch it together. It takes around 9 minutes, and I really like the inductive process. So what I want to happen is that you're going to start seeing some things that might not be common in competitions. So I just want you to start seeing that video, and kind of like think about what is he's doing, or why he is doing it, and then we can dig into it, okay? Has anybody had issues loading the video on YouTube? We all have it?
I have internet.
You can watch it with me, I can go with you. We all have it?
Do you want to play it here? Or do you want to make that with that?
I can try, but the internet is not going to do it. But I can try. It was the best. Hmm? Is that better? Yeah. It's just music in the background anyway, so.
Do you want to explain what we're drinking here?
Yeah. And at those times, I'm going to tell you what's going on. But as soon as he actually starts making the presentation itself, he's like showing you how to do an IBA presentation. I'm not going to say anything because I want you guys to start thinking what he's doing and why is he doing that. And then I'm going to explain you what are those reasons.
Do you feel okay about sound?
Yeah. And then if you just want to go over here, you're right. That's coming over. How was it?
It's on this one? Oh, this one.
So then we have this single and dry bourbon. Bourbon is a whiskey. It's 51% corn. And only the state of Kentucky is legally allowed to put their name on it. just in case. But really, that's all. I just keep an 8-minute video. We're not doing it anymore. I mean, we do it. There used to be a bigger thing. He's like pretending he's walking to the stage.
Great job.
And the reason he's doing this is to show all the people that are learning this technique that as long as you're on the stage, you are being judged. So everything that he's doing, when he says this mise en place, his meetings, his tools, there's judges that are looking at you, that are looking what you're doing, that are looking how you handle your tools. For anybody that participated yesterday, most of us got 2 minutes to do the setup. Some competitions are going to be a little more strict with the setup. Some are going to be a little more loose with the setup. In general terms, you usually have like 2 minutes for the whole setup. Now, the whole lab distribution that he's doing, that's based on an old rule. But basically, it's just showing proper handling of these tools and proper handling of everything that he's going to be using in the cocktail. Now, we're just going to skip forward a little bit to the actual place where we start making the cocktail. Okay. And I'm not saying anything to you guys. Think of what he's doing. See if there's anything wrong with it. Think if there's anything that is too much. Think if there's anything that you maybe wouldn't do at your bars while you're like serving a customer.
Yeah.
Make sure you do it that way too with an acting.
Yeah. There's a lot of, Felipe is going to get a lot of different rules that isn't into practical bartending, but different.
The smile is great.
We can see the better.
Yeah. Is that typical, not measuring?
Maybe we'll talk about it.
He's just being a badass.
Does Tony ever use course?
But don't worry about it, because I have this video at home, so I'll just play the video over this, everybody can see it.
Do you want me to cut it for right now?
No, keep it going, so timing-wise, it'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is it good where it's at?
Wow.
What's
They
that?
don't use course stops in the IBA competitions now?
I know Felipe is going to jump on the jigger versus free pouring versus pour spout, so I don't want to say anything about that, but I know that's where you're going to go to after this.
Gene?
Got it.
Pues eso no es de bien.
Liberal use in that. Oh, not. Exactly.
So what he said, flashback. I like the tie. It's a nice tie you got there, Felipe. You matched Tony.
I stole it from him. It's the same one.
Is Tony okay? Where does he know?
You gotta say what they bring better day.
Magic.
Hey, that smile though.
Talent, yeah.
Ok, me imagino que hay bastantes preguntas. I'm sorry, I was just in Puerto Rico for a week. There's probably a lot of questions right now. So, did anything that he did call your attention? Like, did anything he did was like new to you, or you wonder why? I know John Manuel had a question. Go ahead.
The question that came over here from Susan was, like jigger, free pouring,
Yeah,
is
not
that
even
normal?
pour spouts. Yeah, is that a requirement?
It is not. The only issue with free pouring is you have to be prepared to be challenged by a judge. What we didn't see there, and we're actually going to see it in one of the slides that we have, is that you are actually going to have a judge next to you, looking at every single thing that you do. So you have to be prepared for him to challenge if you're actually pouring correctly or not. So that's the only issue with free pouring, but it is allowed. There's nothing in the rule that says that you can't free pour.
The old rules of IBA request you use the jigger, but in 2022, Cuba start on the rules is free pouring or jigger. It's more for the challenge the bartender.
Anybody else have something to say about the presentation that we see?
So said for free pour, can have the spout or have to be out of the bottle? How it works?
There's nothing in the rule that says that you have to use a pour spout. You can usually just pour directly from the bottle.
Are people fine if you use a pour spout, or they think that's
No.
cool?
Not at all. Not at all.
What would be the recommendation for that kind of event?
For me, jigger.
Jigger.
Yeah, me too.
100%. The flair bartender is better on the free pouring But for when you compete on the classic competition, it's not the same on the flair. The feeling is not of the same, and maybe it's better with the jigger.
For example, the people from employees only and Suizo, they free for the bottles and they have time to calculate everything like
Yep. You get
eyeline.
like
We can
the
do it.
devices are allowed, but they are not required. There might be some chances where you're actually going to have to be forcefully used to free pour from the bottle. Like for example in Panama, I don't know if you use the bottle of Seco, which is like an aguardiente from Panama. That one had like one of those like plastic spout pours that are like inside a little that you can't take without breaking the bottle. So sometimes you're just forced to free pour from a bottle. Of course you can free pour in a jigger, but using a pour sprout, it's not really necessary. And then if you cannot get a hold into like very good quality ones, you might just be safer like just pouring straight from the bottle. One thing that happens in the IBA competitions, everything that he did, he's not trying to get points. He's trying not to get points adopted. So the most you can avoid losing those points, the better for you. And as long as the rule doesn't say that you can't do it, you technically can do it. And I say technically because we're going to see that sometimes there might be certain room for interpretation, but you're going to have to pick your own bottles. Because it might not go in the way that you want. But we're going to talk a little bit more about that. I think we had a question about the video.
You put 2 straws in every cocktail. I know that could be just consumption sake, but consumption versus the sustainability part.
So the rules are moving forward into sustainability. In Italy last year, they only allow us to use plastic straws. You know, I know there are competitions before that they were requiring only paper straws or metal straws, and sometimes you just don't use the straws at all. This video, I believe, was from 2014 maybe,
Yeah.
kind of around like that. But the main structure, what he's doing, remains. Before that, I don't know if there was any rule before that.
Yeah.
No, never.
But that's the appreciation of the judge, because it's not on the paper, on the rules. But I'm the judge, and you put two stroke, and for me, I don't know, the ambience of person or something, I take a 5 point, subtract 5 point for the bad technique or something on the.
You need to explain it's a sustainable stroke.
Right.
Yeah.
So what we saw there was a couple of different stages in the competition. There was a couple of stages that we didn't see. We saw the technique being displayed on the stage. Before that, there's 2 previous rounds. The first one is a round that is usually going to be in a backstage area where you get to do your prep and your juice. So if your cocktail needs any type of like lime or lemon juice, they're usually going to give you a time before the competition to work on that. Up to a year ago, that was usually time. They will give you a particular time just for juice. Like 15 minutes for juicing, and if you didn't get enough lime or lemon juice, you will get deductions because you have to finish it with your cocktail, right? In the last 2 competitions, they have not required a limitation of the time that it could take you to make some longer process in the backstage area. Okay? Once you do that, then you go to the garnish round, where they normally where they normally will take you to an area that is also open to public. Like for example, let's say the main competitors are going to be competing up here on the stage, just like we did yesterday, and then there are going to be like some tables just down here where people are going to be preparing their garnishes. Right? And then you're going to also be judged based on what you're doing with garnish. You have 15 minutes time to do those garnishes.
It's like a show.
Exactly. You're a speaker, and that's also going to be scored. Then the part that we skip at the beginning, you have a speech round where you introduce your cocktail. You talk a little bit about what you're going to do on the stage. You have 1 minute to do that. We're going to go way into deep into every single one of these stages in a minute. Okay? And then we have the presentation part. You know, I started by like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but at the beginning he was like cleaning his glasses and he was icing his tools. That's a very classic IBA standard that you have to show that all your tools are in good condition. And one way of showing them is just like kind of like clean them or maybe like look at them on the stage. You know your tools are clean, but you just want to make sure that everybody else knows that you took care of it, right?
Felipe, what's the difference between IBA standards and classic?
So IBA standards is just a generic work for all the competitions that are held by the IBA. And then they hold classic technique, and they also hold flair competitions. So when we say about the classic standards or classic technique, we mean IBA competitions, the mixology part, the classics.
Okay.
And then when we do different competitions, I don't know if you noticed, but he was showing all the bottles. You know, we need to pay our bills for the sponsor. They are there for their money, so we want to make sure everybody see. And then one thing that is very different about like IBA competitions, I don't know if you noticed what he was doing, is that we don't talk during our competitions. So we have to make sure that everybody knows what we're doing without talking to them. And that's the reason that we are going to be presenting pretty much everything that we're doing. The most information the audience gets from us without saying anything, the better. And one of the biggest things that you have to present your book, right? Then of course you have to make sure that you do a good cocktail. And when it comes to the cocktail, the more important part is that all the bowls have to be equal. So they have to be all the same, at the same level. And in the case of what he was doing of using 2 shakers, you have to pour 1 shaker into all the cocktails, and then the other one, you top them up so that way they all come the same. In the case that one of the shakers is off, which shouldn't be. Then we're going to garnish our cocktail, and we have to handle that properly. Normally use gloves for handling garnishes, or we use tongs. And then finally, we present our cocktail, and that stops the time. That's kind of like the general idea rule. And if you have the other QR code, that will take you to a video too, where he actually talks step by step through those things. Jhonnatan, please.
How does level 4 function in IBA?
I'm sorry, go again?
How you guys in IBA do level 4?
Level 4?
Level 4 meaning like you're supposed to pour everything on the same, but some people say you start left to right, right to left.
They will specify it in every single specific competition. In general terms, you get 2 rounds coming from left to right. So that will be, you go left, so you pour puff, 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 and then you come back, puff, 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 puff. In Panama, it will be a few, 2. But they will specify that we've seen competition where they say like, you go that way and then you come back. That will be specified specifically.
In the rules, left to right, or right to left, or doesn't matter.
Yeah, if it doesn't say that,
Sometimes no matter if you start on the left or on the right, but it's just one pass or 2 passes.
And then if you're making it 2 things, they've got to both be.
Yeah.
But you get a list of the rules and everything
Yeah.
prior to the competition,
And
so you'll be
sometimes
able to know
something
step by
that's
step,
on the
correct?
video. Yeah, on the video.
so this is what we're here for. How do we get that perfect score that we want? We first have to understand that there's 4 chances to get deductions, or 4 chances for you to win, or maybe 4 chances for you to lose. And this is going to be the garnish round, your presentation speech, the technique round, like the actual cocktail making, and the cocktail itself and how the cocktail is made. And this is where we're going to dig into it and what to do and what to avoid to get all of those points. Okay? The garnish round is one of the easiest ways to ensure your points. It pretty much is almost like, did you do a garnish, yes or no? And you get all those points. So nobody should be losing points of the garnish round. So if you're going to an IBA competition, you have to prepare for that round because that's one of your safe bets. You can't lose any points on the garnish round. Now, how to avoid to lose points on the garnish round? So you want to do something simple that you can achieve. Remember, you have 15 minutes, you present 5 cocktails, and you might want to have an extra garnish ready just in case. So you have to do 6 garnishes in 15 minutes. So when you're preparing at home, make sure that you can at least, you're taking maybe like 2 minutes or 2 minutes and a half per garnish. So the 15 minutes will allow you to do 6 garnishes maybe, right? But also understand that they're giving you a full 15 minutes. That's a quarter of an hour, which actually is the fastest quarter of an hour ever. It flies so fast. But you want to make sure that if they give you 15 minutes, you present something, you know, that is actually worth to look at. That it looks like you actually work on those 15 minutes. I don't know if you guys had the pleasure to see the garnish that Quintero did. He did that garnish in 25 minutes yesterday, but it was amazing. It was amazing. Okay? You also have to manage your waste. If you are using too much fruit for your garnishes, for your pills, you're going to get points on top. right?
What do you
Because
mean
wanna
by
make sure
that?
that you're using as much of that product as necessary. A great trick that will help you with the garnish round is there's a new rule that is trying to avoid the excessive waste. So if you are using oranges, if you are using lemons or limes or any other product during that time, that remember there's no time frame for the pre-using, they allow you to save the peels or the skin of those materials. And remember, you don't have any time frame, so you can take as much time as you want to peel those perfectly, and then you can reuse those peels in the garnish round. Like that. And that saves you so much time. And might give you the time to make something a little bit more like difficult and more complex. But also at the same time, you can get those peels in a more controlled environment with no rush. Then secondly and thirdly, you want to make sure you're using proper procedure. Right? If you get caught during the garnish round, you might lose some points. You know, if you're just throwing everything away, you might lose some points. If you decide to cut a lemon with a hammer somehow, you're gonna lose some points. Right? Also, you know there's a difference between a garnish and a decoration. Sometimes there's a lot involved in the rules when it comes to that. I think the general idea is if it affects the flavor, it's considered a garnish. If it doesn't affect the flavor, it's considered a decoration. Some people say if it doesn't touch the liquid, it's a decoration. Yeah, our folks at their decorations of garnish, we've had like a couple of arguments about that.
Yeah.
We're still working on that, but you want to understand that what you're doing and how that's going to affect your cocktail. IBA cocktails do not allow any external garnishes or decorations. So you can't present your cocktail in a plate, you can't put something on the side, you know, and you want to make sure that if it's a garnish that is going to interfere with the cocktail, that is mostly edible.
What if it's an aromatic decoration?
Can you give me an example of an aromatic decoration?
What if it's maybe a piece of paper that's designed for a cocktail that is aromatic?
Well, you want to maintain it organic.
What's that?
It has to be edible or organic.
What if it's edible printed paper?
Yeah, that will work. It depends on the specific competition. They might tell you decoration means doesn't touch the liquid, and the competition is going to say decoration don't affect the cocktail. So in your case, if the rule is decorations do not affect the cocktail, then that means that your plain is aromatic, is a garnish, because it's affecting the experience of the cocktail. But in the other case, if they tell you the rules, decorations do not touch the liquid, then your paper plain is not a garnish. It will depend on what they wrote in those rules. And then, of course, finish on time. You have 15 minutes. This is something that you can practice at home. You know if you can make that garnish or not. So don't wait until you show up to the table to see if you can do it or not. Any questions about the garnish round?
Practice, practice, practice.
Okay. The other one that is literally a gift is the speech round. The speech is pretty easy, and please focus on this one a lot. Because it's one of those things that you can also practice at home, and then you just deliver and you get full points with that. Right? When it comes to the speech, you want to make sure that you use technical knowledge of your ingredients. Right? So when you go and present, if your cocktail has a lemon juice, talk about like the city. You know, talk about like the astringency. Or especially when there's a sponsor. You know, if you're working with Brandy Presidente, you know, you can't go and say like, oh, I love Brandy Presidente because of flavor of strawberry or something. Right? You want to make sure that they know about the products that you're representing, and then they get their money worth in that. You want to make sure that you interact with everybody, not only the audience, but the judges are very important. Remember, they are judging you. So always try to acknowledge the judges and maybe the people working. It's pretty easy. It's like, hello everybody, judges, that's 2 seconds. And you go to the section. The cadence, when you're speaking, is also very important. If you are, I don't know, you forgot, that's going to cost you points. So you want to have something in the speech very well planned, you want to know what to do. Maybe plan of having this lifesaver, that if you forget about something, you're going to throw this joke or something. You know, have something prepared just in case. You need to have something you have a nice inspiration. There's an unwritten rule in the IBA world. If you make a cocktail inspired by your mom or your grandma, you get no points. It's an unwritten rule. There's nothing in the rule that says you can't do it, but everybody has done it. So it's just not original anymore. You're not going to get points from it, right? Also, you have to make sure that when you create a story, that is coherent. You know, I name my cocktail the Yellow Bird, and your cocktail is red. That might not work, right? Of course, make sure that you make it on time. It's 1 minute. You have to do all of these little steps. And then you really want your inspiration to have a wow, like your speech to have a wow factor. And the reason behind this, and I don't know if these two gentlemen are going to agree with this, what happens sometimes you have 20 other competitors. In the World Cup you have 70 people total. You're the first there to go. And the judge, okay, I like your presentation, but I still have to see so much people, so I don't know if you were the best. So I'm not going to give you 100 points. I'm going to give you 85, just to see where you are with the rest. And then of course, maybe if nobody was at your level, you're going to end up with the higher points. It's not going to be 100, it's going to be 85. So you have to do something to convince your judges that there's not going to be anybody better than you on that speech. Otherwise, they're not going to be good. Do you agree with this? No. But I don't know. You can probably say a little more about that.
For the speech, for me, the more important for the speech is never you stay on the back on the bar. When you start to speak, but on the front on the stage, don't forget you to sit compete. You know, a regular bartender on work. Now you are the show tender. You're the one artist when you going to the one stage, and that 60 point is easy. Just talk about your ingredient. The sponsor is the more important on the speech. The sponsor paid the tournament, and it's easy. Easy the speech for me.
Those are easy points.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be losing points in the speech.
What's an example of a wow factor that would impress them?
Maybe like an inspiration that they haven't heard before. You know, maybe something completely out of the picture. You know, I don't know.
Talk about your grandmother, because everyone does that.
No.
You know? And then like what he was saying, that's a wow factor. Because like in Panama, let's say it was like 25 of us in one competition, and probably 23 people were just there. 2 people go there, stand up, and interact with the people. Like for a judge, that could be a wow factor. Like, how did you stand up?
I think Mr. Wong did.
One.
Or maybe the type of interaction that you have with the people. You know, I don't know if anybody was here for my presentation yesterday, but I made everybody took a deep breath and took 5 seconds just to breathe in and breathe out. That's me. That's not something that you normally see in our presentation.
And then Dean repeated it all night long.
Okay. Technique. This is tricky. We can practice this a ton. And a lot of these things tend to be situational. So we might have perfect runs at home, but then we get there and then the lighting goes off. Maybe you start panicking when you're on stage. Remember, you have like former world champions there. Maybe you have former world champions there. And then if you want to just come here, just come here. But I'm also making my cocktail here, and he's judging me here, literally. So that might affect. They do that. If I go like this, you will like come here, right? Yeah, they do that. So that might affect your legal. So you can practice as much as you want, but I think to me the biggest thing that will get you the win is, does anybody ride a motorcycle? You do? Okay. What's the best thing to keep yourself alive if riding a motorcycle? It could be more things, but let's see if we say the same thing.
Helmet.
Protection.
Protection, you know? To me, the key is controlling the factors, as many as you can. Because there's going to be some factors that are out of your control. But like protecting yourself, you know, wearing nice gear, that's a factor that you can control. So you want to try to control as many factors as you can. The ones that I think that you can control is, of course, following the proper procedures. You know, practice at home, make sure you're not grabbing like the things from the top, that you're not grabbing the glasses from the top. Just like very simple things. You know, a lot of people when they have a tournament, they start practicing maybe like a week before, a month before, a year before. To me, it's like, know who you want to be, know where you want to compete, and then just incorporate all those things in your day-to-day life.
Rob's #1 rule is practice at home, perform at work. Don't practice at work.
Yeah, but that's flair.
Well, it could be with anything.
It could be.
Yeah.
There's definitely a balance in it. But like for example, let's say if I want to use stumps in a competition, I shouldn't be waiting until like the previous week
Exactly.
to go and use stumps. Make
Okay.
that part of your routine. Maybe you're working in a nightclub, it might not work. Hey, it might work on a Tuesday night if your nightclub is open. So that's kind of like what you're saying also. Like, don't start practicing. Don't start practicing like at the last.
The very
right?
last minute, yeah.
Start making it more natural, right? Just look tool qualities. Like if you're using a cobbler, if it's a cheap cobbler, it's gonna leak. Don't do that. Avoid the touches. So for example, he was doing 2 shakers. If you do 2 shakers, that means double amount of force, double amount of jiggering, double amount of measuring, and that could also affect the amount of skills that you do.
And
So the
control.
less touches that you have, the better. Easy things to do, keep the amount to the minimum, top up your cocktail with a soda or a sparkling, something that you can do later, so you can keep your balance into just 1 shaker, or buy a bigger shaker like the one that Mariano has. Something like that. Also, don't use small jiggers. Grab a measuring cup. Grab a jug or something bigger that you can just go and put like those 6 ounces in 1 cup and then just pour it. There's no points deductions on the look of it. I don't want to be pictured, with a plastic cup pouring. That doesn't affect your points. And then glove handling. We normally when we grab the garnishes, we use gloves, but you can also use stumps. I definitely suggest using cotton gloves, not latex gloves, because if your hands get wet, those gloves are not going to get it. So get cotton gloves for when you're using your garnishes. I know my judge is here, and I know that I want to show everything, but you're presenting to the audience, not to the judge. Okay? So the audience is first. And then when you're making your recipe, take all of this in consideration. Right? It's like, I want to put caviar on my cocktail. Okay, can you handle the caviar in those times? Or I want to do like 5 ounces of this. What does it mean? It means that you're going to have to use 3 shakers. It's going to affect your time. So keep these things in mind when you're making your recipe. Like make a clever recipe that will help you when you do it. And of course, finish your time. Practice your time at home. Practice the whole round. And then finally, the cocktail. This is, to me, the most difficult, personal, because I'm not in control. This is when the judges take your cocktail, they try it, you don't know what's going to happen. I would say the most important things are think that the cocktail is not for yourself, think that other people are going to try your cocktail. Don't forget about the color and the aroma of the cocktail, like what you were saying. It's not only about the flavor. Okay, think about the aroma of the cocktail. Make sure it's categorical here. They take you to a before dinner competition and you decided to do like, chocolate syrup straw. That's not going to work out, right? And just in case, consider weather and timing. For example, yesterday I made a mistake. I used nori nori as my garnish, and I forgot about the humidity here, and the nori nori just like went, flaccid like in 5 seconds. And just choose the right color. Remember you're here to win, right? So make sure you take right decisions. Give it to some other people. See what they think. And just kind of play with that. Make sure it's the right cocktail to go, right? And then this could be controversial, but like most of the cocktails I have presented internationally, because I don't have the sponsors here, I never got to try them. So I don't really know how they taste like. So if you have the chance, try your cocktail, see how it was. Now, just some general stuff that might happen. Be on time. Like right now, we're going late. I'm almost there, and we have some nice prices. If you are on time, you're late. You want to be there earlier everywhere, okay? Be prepared for everything. Maybe your sponsor didn't bring your bottles or something. Maybe, something broke on the way. So you have to be prepared. Things are going to change. In this Pan American, we had one competition and we were supposed to compete again on Saturday. And then while we were still in the States, they told us, no, now you're competing again in half an hour. You just have to be ready. This is more about the mindset to have that, like, anything that they put you through, you're just going to go for it anyway, right? Take everything you need, just in case. Don't assume that they're going to have an ice cream. Don't assume they're going to have the perfect ice bucket. If you don't feel comfortable, just like going and don't know what happened, well, you just take the ice bucket yourself. Take everything that you need. You never know if they're gonna have it or not. Take your choice. Don't be expecting that, oh, the hotel is gonna lend me some lemons, or a fire torch or something. Don't expect that. You have to take everything that you need. The interpretation is difficult. There's usually a class before where we go and we talk with the judges, and then we talk about the rules, and they are like, well, this is the rule, but this is what the rule is supposed to be. Remember that the rules can change. There's always like one line in the bottom of the rules that says rules can change anytime. So if you are playing with the gray area, be ready, to stand behind what you say and make sure that you have a very nice explanation of why you're doing that. Because otherwise, they're just going to say, no, it doesn't happen. Know the scores. Sometimes things are going to happen. It might not be ideal. But when that happens, you want to make sure that you take the right decision for the points. Maybe touching the garnish with the hand takes less deductions than going overtime. So if that's what it takes, just do it. Take the right decision when it comes to scores. Remember, all this is about the points, right? And then you're there, you have to own it. You're in front of the cameras. Sometimes, in most of these cases, you're representing a country, representing your city, your guild. So on the show, and don't forget to have. You have to play the part. You are going there as the national champion of your association, and then you want to make sure that you give them, that you play the part. Okay, right here. Now, I know we're going to leave it over time, but we have some nice prizes around here, and this is what I want to do. Do you remember when we talked about the speech, right? Okay, so I want you to make me an inspirational speech for this cocktail over here. I just invented this cocktail yesterday. It's something I put together very quickly. Just think of a very quick 30-second, a speech. Like create your own story. What makes you create this cocktail? What does it's gonna take like? Maybe what ingredients are in there. Sell it to me. Just take 1 minute. Think of the idea. 30 seconds, and then we're gonna hear some people that wanna share out with us and take some nice prizes. Right? Just take 1 minute. Think about your speech. Stop.
Get up there. Yeah!
Okay. I'm gonna give you a little bit more time. Well, I don't have prices for it.
Well, I'll give you another bottle for something, yeah.
Okay, one more. If there's somebody else that wants to do it, we have one more bottle.
Oh, this is for them.
Anybody else? We don't have anybody else that wants to do it. Okay. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of time. So you can start thinking under your presentation. It's going to be 30 seconds, remember. 30 seconds inspiration is starting with the cocktail, but you just invented today. Okay? Now, you're going to be judging. This is something that we'll always fight for. We're going to end up fighting each other outside. Judges must judge based on the rules, not on their personal likings. Not because one was funnier, but because one connected better to you personally. Okay? Remember, it's about how well they explain the spirits, how well they explain the cocktail, if the inspiration is original, all of those things that we talk, okay? I'm going to come back to it so you can keep it in mind while you're judging them.
What are going to be responsible for those?
You can make that. You made a cocktail, bro. Okay, cool. Okay, John Manuel, volunteer to go first. All right. Okay, I'm going to put 30 seconds here. Whenever you're ready, your 30 seconds start, we're going to be judging him on his speech, okay? 3, 2.
Hello everyone, it's my great pleasure to be here representing America. My inspiration on this brand new cocktail that I bring to the table is my master, a Swiss chemist and bartender that created this beautiful cocktail years ago. He showed me a little bit of it, where I was able to recreate that cocktail with the amazing sponsors present, like Presidente Brandy, and utilizing the connection genes unicorn notes. I was able to extend it and mix everything together with real Glenn hazelnut. Done.
Hey!
40 seconds. Remember that? 40 seconds. We're aiming for 30.
30 seconds is the rule.
Yeah. You ready? Yeah. You tell me when you're ready. Like, oh, you know, even better. This is your response. Okay.
Ah, smart man.
Go for it. 3, 2, 1.
Hello everybody, thank you for letting me be here. This new cocktail that I thought of uses demerara syrup, alpine gin, and bitters. Thought of it from an old man that came to me on a motorcycle, and we put it together. This is what we came up with.
Hey! You made it in time!
Okay, whenever you're ready, I call you 30 seconds.
First of all, just to give you guys a heads up, I am terrible at public speaking, so thanks so much.
You're doing great.
Make it bar. Own it.
All right.
2-minute topics.
3, 2, 1, go.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today. I just wanted to share with you a personal and loving experience of mine of just having my own homegrown garden and being able to pick out my berries and using alpine gin to share with you a refreshing and a beautiful natural experience of a cocktail that I just have created, and it's refreshing, loving, and a little bit of homegrown.
Hey, 29.
Okay, can I have our speech presenters back on stage for a second? Just stay here, stay here. You're taking something home. Okay guys, remember, we're judging on these factors. I forgot your time, sorry. It was like 30 something.
Mine was right at 30 seconds, actually.
30. Okay, so remember, we're judging on the quality of the speech. We're not judging on who we liked the better, who was funnier, you know, who made us laugh more.
Let's be honest, you're the prettiest one out of all of us.
Okay, what do we do like clapping? What do you think? Okay. Okay guys, who thinks that Cota has the best speech? Can I get some claps for her? Okay guys, who thinks Tyler got the best speech? Guys, who thinks John Manuel got the best speech? Whoa,
Yeah.
Who thinks that Cota had, from these two guys, had the best speech? Tyler did.
We think they all did just fine. We're amazing.
Guys, thanks so much, Tyler.
Hey!
You get the same little bag, but you also force it to hard ringing. You get a couple of two. You get some swag. You get a little candies. Which takes us to the winner of the night.
Hey! One.
You went overtime.
See, you are a winner.
I'm not judging.
Tuesdays my day, man.
Yo, but no worries.
Yeah, Mondays I look different. Tuesdays are better.
Yes.
Nice, thank you.
Thank you so much, guys, for your time. Sorry to run over.
Personality, charisma, sincerity. Look like a human, not like a robot, yeah? Look amazing, that's very important. Have a routine, applicable to every day. That's it, nothing complicated. Be a true seductor, that's very important. We work with a brand, representing a brand, successful attitude, okay?
And in making a good cocktail.
Yeah.
Have fun. And have fun. Please have fun.